Artificial intelligence, known as AI, is taking over the world. We all know that there are so many tools out there that can help us. So the most popular one that we're all fully aware of is ChatGPT. If you're not familiar, we're going to talk about it today. But I also want to share with you some amazing tools that I am learning about and our team is testing to make our process easier, to streamline things, and just stop wasting so much time and money doing all the things. And so get ready, get ready, get ready. You're going to be blown away by some of these tools. Back to another episode of the Keenya Kelly podcast. I'm excited to be here with you. And as you heard me talk about this in the intro, we are going to be talking about AI tools, but also you heard me talking about a webinar that I'm going to be teaching on Thursday, June the 1st. And so if you are someone and you're like, yeah, I want to learn how to create content that converts, then I strongly want to encourage you to come and join us for that. Again, it's absolutely free. You as our community asked for it. So I decided I'm going to do it. And so it's going to be free, and it's going to be Thursday at 4:00. Okay, so we all know that artificial intelligence, better known as AI, it's doing what it's doing. And, there are some awesome things about AI. And of course, there's some non-awesome things about AI. But specifically today, we're just going to talk about what is actually really good about it, and then tools that you can use to be able to market your business. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get all into it. So the first tool that many of us know all about is ChatGPT. And ChatGPT, I'm going to pull up their website really quickly and tell you exactly what they say that they do. And then I will give you my own version, of what I feel like they do in terms of like the way that I see things. Okay. And so when you look at what ChatGPT says that they do, they basically say that they help you to be able to write, right? They give you prompts. They can write your sales pages. They can write your emails. They can do all the things that you're needing something to do. Okay. But when I look at ChatGPT, I more so look at it as, a creative way to come up with content ideas, a creative tool to be able to automatically create, articles and blogs and emails and all these different things in a way that is programmed based upon what other people are saying and how people are programming a particular system or what have you. Listen, I'm sure that there is like a much better explanation than that, because when I look at when I'm on ChatGPT's website right now, I'm not actually seeing where they say this is who we are and this is what we do. Now, what I can do is I can go to Google really quickly and we'll just see what they say that ChatGPT is. All right, so let's type that in, ChatGPT. Okay, it says that ChatGPT is a sibling model to instruct GPT, which is trained to follow an instruction and a prompt and provide a detailed response. Okay, it says, what is ChatGPT? Also, it says ChatGPT is an artificial intelligence chatbot developed by OpenAI and released November 2022. The name ChatGPT combines chat, referring to the chatbot function, and GPT, which stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, a type of larger language model. Okay. So when you ask, what is ChatGPT used for? It's an AI chatbot that uses natural language processing to create human-like conversational dialogue. Okay, so I feel like that's a much better explanation than what I said. But when I look at it, like, what is it doing is I'm putting something into it and then it is giving me an output, right? So when I think about ChatGPT and the way that I use it is like, because I am running my business and my creativity is only so much, and like I've got all these things to do and my creativity can only operate at some type of capacity if I have a lot of things going on. And so like for me and my team, like if I am working with a new client and my new client is a fitness instructor and she's trying to come up with ideas for her content, then I will say, well, who is your target audience? And she'll tell me who it is. And I'll say, okay, and what do you want to help them with? And she tells me. I will tell her to go to ChatGPT and say, give me 100 different struggles that a female between the age of 20 and 35 is dealing with when it comes to health, fitness, and nutrition. And so then what happens, you hit enter ChatGPT will then populate 100 different things around what someone in their 20s and 30s can be dealing with about health, fitness, and nutrition. And then what that does is for my client, it lets her go, I can talk about all of these, right? And so instead of her coming up with what are the ideas going to be, ChatGPT can do that. But also she can take one of those things and say, let's just say learning how to eat well for energy. Okay. And then she can plug that into ChatGPT and say, give me 7 bullet points on how a person can eat well for mental health or for their body or whatever in their 20s and 40s as a female. And so then here you've got this topic, and then ChatGPT can give her 7 bullet points. And so then she just looks at it, revises it based upon what she wants to do with it. And then she can record content, and then she can write a blog, and then she can do whatever it is she wants to do with it, because ChatGPT assisted her with all of those particular topics. And so I look at this as like a huge gold mine, right? Because it's a lot to do what it is that we do. And like the people in my team, they're amazing, but they don't think like me. I am me. I run the company. I'm the one, whatever. And so instead of trying to get them to think like me, I'm able to give them like, here's what we need to be asking ChatGPT to get the ideas up. And then you go and get them and then bring them to me. And then I can tweak them, right? And then some of those things we can turn into videos I record. We can turn them into blogs. We can turn them into carousels. We could turn them into so many things that we can't do on our own. It would take us so much time to be able to do on our own. Okay. So when I look at ChatGPT, that's definitely one of the ways to be able to use that particular tool. So that was my favorite right now. Another tool that I love is fireflies.ai. And fireflies.ai is basically, it's a tool that will come into your Zoom meeting or any kind of recorded meeting, and it will take notes for you, right? So like Zoom is recording the meeting, but Fireflies is taking notes and turning it into like, this is what we talked about here at this time, and just being like an amazing note taker. Because my assistant, she takes notes in the meeting, but I'm like, what if she can just focus on like some of the things and not have to try to catch everything, right? Then she can actually be there with us in the meeting and not just try to take a note, right? And so, and then when we have clients that hire me like for a one-on-one session, my assistant isn't there. And then when we transcribe the call and turn it into a document for our clients. And so with Fireflies, it comes into the meeting, it comes up with all these outlines of things, and then we just forward that to my assistant. It has cut her time, and like, she's only working a quarter of the time that she was working on something when we had a new client call. So Fireflies, and it's actually complimentary right now. Now, ChatGPT is free for us, for a period, for like when it's not like high traffic times or whatever, but they do have a fee of $20 per month if you want to get the best of the best service from ChatGPT. Captions. So Captions is a great app to be able to do, it does lots of video editing, but a lot of people use Captions to be able to put captions on their videos, because we all know that, in case you didn't know this, but like when people are watching content on social media, like 80% of people are watching it on mute, right? Because here's why. If you are, scrolling on social media, like I'm going to pull up Instagram right now, and I'm going to actually turn the audio on, right? And so in just a second, because we watch it on mute because we want to decide what we want to see and hear. We don't want to hear all these things happening all at one time. So I'll give you an example. Okay. So I'm on Reels. There's that. Okay. Right. Okay. So if I'm scrolling on Instagram, I'm hearing this, and then this, and then this, and then this, and then this. And it's so much, it's like so much stimulation happening. And most of us don't want that level of stimulation like that when we're on our phone scrolling, right? And sometimes we're in environments where we don't want people, hearing what it is that we are watching, right? Or whatever it is, you know what I mean? And so things like captions actually make your video where when you post it, people are able to watch your video and see what you're saying by the captions you have on screen. And they don't necessarily have to, like, your video doesn't have to be unmuted in order for them to be able to enjoy it. And so captions is a great feature to be able to do that. A next tool that we have is Copy AI, and Copy AI is very similar to ChatGPT, but actually Copy AI has been around for a lot longer. And so a lot of people have found themselves using Copy AI to write more very specific things like, so if I go to ChatGPT and I ask it certain questions, let's just say around a short form video, well, unless the people that are like programming it really, really, really understand short form video marketing, vertical video marketing, from a business standpoint, unless they really understand that, then what the system is actually putting out to me is, some of it's a little bit outdated. Some of it's a little like catchy, like content creator type things, and not necessarily to be able to market your business. And so when I think about things like copy AI, that gives me a lot more business assistance because it's been around so much longer and the programming is a lot more, I feel like it's a lot more high level, a lot more in depth. It's not one that the masses know about, copy AI, but many people do use copy AI to be able to write, prompts, to be able to write emails, to be able to write, blog posts and things of that nature, very similar to ChatGPT. And then the last one that I want to talk about is called Get Munch. Okay. Now, I just recently learned about Get Munch. We haven't started using it yet, but this is quite the incredible tool. And here's the deal. Like, if you're someone and you create long form content, right? Like you're recording, you're looking into a computer screen, like into a camera, and you're putting those videos up on Facebook or you're putting them up on YouTube as long form horizontal videos, right? Well, Get Munch, what it will do is it will actually take that long form video and you plug it in and it will chop it up into different pieces of content for the different platforms. For example, let's just say I took this video of me here talking on the podcast, right? And I put it up on YouTube. Well, I can put this on Get Munch and it will say, okay, here are the hottest points of your video, and you should put this on LinkedIn. So this video or this written part, put this on LinkedIn. You said this, and this here and there, put all these things on Twitter. And then it will chop it up and say, okay, put this on TikTok, put this on Instagram, put this on YouTube or whatever, right? And so the AI is like searching for the greatest parts of what we're saying or what we're doing in our videos and chopping it up into places to be able to put it out there to the world on all the social media platforms. And some of my friends that are using it are like, swear by this tool. And this is a tool that we are going to start using in my business because I'm like, I do long form content. I teach, live stream on a regular basis. I create, podcasts and then we put it up on YouTube. And I'm like, what if I take that same content and I plug it into Get Munch? And instead of me having to record all of these like single individual pieces of content for a short form video, if I let Get Munch actually chop that up for me. So this is something that we are actually getting ready to get into as a company because, I just want to focus on my clients. I just want to be able to have my one-on-one calls, have my group calls, and not spend so much time creating content. One, is a lot of work. Two, it leads to burnout. And then three, is so much editing that goes along with doing all that, right? And then writing as well, versus letting a tool do all that for me, okay? So if you enjoyed this episode, I want to know which tools you feel like you're going to use first. The number one I'm going after right now is Get Munch. We're already using ChatGPT, Fireflies, and captions. But Get Munch, let's go. I'm like, okay, let's try this today. Okay. So I want to know, what are you using? So if you're watching on YouTube, tell me below in the chat. If you're listening to this on the podcast, let me know on Instagram, come send me a message and say, hey, heard the podcast today. Here's the tool I'm going to use because I want to know. Okay. Thanks for listening.